What's going on, you guys? I've got a new article today. So two new expansions coming out for Legion, and this is crazy. I mean, Legion is getting ready to launch in like 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks now. It's like very nearly upon us, and they're still giving us new information. So, and it looks like they're doing terrain. So this is pretty interesting. Some of this is very unexpected, and some of it you might have guessed with the barricades and everything, but pretty cool, although they're showing everything painted here. I don't think it's all going to be painted. But let's look at the two expansions that we're going to be getting. First is the Barricades pack. This one I'm not as excited about because of the fact that, well, you're getting barricades in your core set already. And if you're like me, if you're planning to get multiple core sets, you're going to have lots of extra barricades. But it stands to reason they would probably make something like this. Anyway, the cool thing about this is that, you know, you don't have to use these as barricades. You can maybe cut them up and glue them together and make, you know, use them to make some buildings or debris or rubble. Like, these can be really modded to do like whatever you want to do with them. So that much is kind of cool because they are futuristic looking wall panels. So maybe you can make walls out of them, or maybe small buildings or ruined tech buildings or whatever. So I imagine there's all kinds of stuff you could do with these. I don't think I'll actually pick this one up though, because I'm thinking of getting 3 core sets, and I'm gonna have a lot of extra barricades. I might only go with 2, but still, it's gonna be a lot of extra barricades. But this one is really cool though. The Priority Supplies Battlefield expansion. This one is more than just, you know, terrain. It has a whole bunch of stuff in it. So we're gonna look at all the different things that it comes in it. And so it looks like it's coming with moisture evaporators, you know, communication towers. This is kind of like that little switch from Rogue One. We've got supply crates, you know, ammo crates, all kinds of interesting things like this. And it looks like they come on bases as well. So you can, you know, and I don't even think you're going to have to put them on the bases. Most of this stuff so far is like separate from the base, and you have to attach it to the base. So you can probably pick up several of these and just use them as, you know, as terrain, or use them as objective tokens in games. And there's like multiple uses for just about everything in this game. So that's kind of cool. And I think they've done this to synergize with certain objectives, as well as introduce some new objectives, because this is definitely an objective-driven game. So let's look at, you know, so we've got these right here. This is like a kind of a close-up. So we're getting some different sculpts of different type of towers or moisture evaporators. This is actually really not the best news for my Hoth maps, because I don't know if we're going to need, but I suppose maybe you could extract some moisture from the ice. I mean, people on Hoth have to drink too, right? I don't know. Thematically, though, maybe we could say they're heat evaporated, like they warm up the yes your water that you get from the moisture evaporator is warmed. These are coffee makers for Hoth. If you have a better suggestion on what I could use, how I could use these on Hoth, let me know. But I'm going with coffee makers for right now. So, but let me know in the comments below. There also is another round of the giveaway going right now, so if you'd like to win one of these, or an expansion of your choice in the form of a $20 Cool Stuff gift card, only thing you need to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. So yeah, one comment you could leave me a suggestion for how I could incorporate all this stuff into Hoth. So let's look at these new objective tokens that we're getting. Our objective cards, we're getting some really cool ones. So we've got Sabotage the Moisture Evaporators here. And starting with the blue player, players are going to alternate placing objective tokens on the battlefield until 4 have been placed. So this one, right away, this one doesn't really hurt your you know, your red player as much, because it's an even number. So you're each going to get to place 4. Blue player gets the advantage because they get to place the first one, and there's certain ranges. So they have to be beyond range 1 of each deployment zone, and beyond range 2 of any of their objective tokens. So depending on where you place them, you can strategically make it harder for somebody else to place them in certain places. And you're going to place 2 wound tokens on each objective token. They can't have more than 4 on them. And everybody's going to gain Sabotage or Repair to try to increase the number to 4 or bring it down to 0, but 1 at a time. One thing that struck me with this one is that you could easily use Armada speed counters, because they're little tiles and they go from 0 to 4. So you could just set them to 2, and you could set that on there instead of having to use wound tokens if you wanted to. That would be a dial that would be a little bit easier, and you wouldn't get it confused with like maybe wounds that are on troops or something like that. It's just a thought, you know, but let me know what you think about that. Do you think that's a good idea? And this is obviously only going to apply to Armada players, but there's, you know, something like that. So victory at the end of the game, the blue player gains a victory token for each wound token over 2 on each objective, and then the red player gains 2 victory tokens for each objective token with fewer than 2 wounds on it, -1 for each wound token on those objective tokens. So basically, you know, whoever does the more sabotage or repair is going to win this one. And the thing is, all trooper units. So again, this is kind of factoring into that whole thing where, you know, your troopers massing core units is going to be helpful. Massing core units, massing troopers, you know, running 6 core, probably a good idea. You know, at least for early. At least 4 or 5. I mean, but like 6 would definitely be worth it. It's why I don't think you really want to run multiple ATSTs. Even though that would look cool, you're not going to be able to win because they can't do things like this. And that's like over 200 points in just one unit, whereas you could have three troopers for that much. You know, that's just that's the way I look at it. These objectives are what win you the game. Although there's a lot of style that goes into running multiple ATSTs. And then we got a new deployment, so advanced positions. So this one's different. It's giving you like half of the battlefield and then the whole, you know, the short edge and then half of the long edge. So you have a lot of options on where you want to put out. This one would be really interesting depending on your terrain also. You know, you have such a wide area that you can go. And if you go like closer to the middle, you could be closer to each other. If you go over here, you'd be farther away. And so, but it has an extra little thing here. During the deploy units step, each trooper gains Scout 1. So after you deploy, you may perform a Speed 1 move and loses Stationary. So stationary, getting a new keyword there. So what do you think stationary is? Interesting. Could we be seeing some shield generators, some power generators? Could we be seeing some turrets? Could we be seeing some stationary things? Very interesting. What else would be stationary? Maybe an AT-AT. Could an AT-AT, maybe because it's so big, maybe it couldn't move. Maybe you get a stationary AT-AT. Who knows? Let me know. Let me know what you think. And then Minefield. This one is kind of cool. I like this one. Starting with the blue player, players alternate placing condition tokens on the battlefield until 4 have been placed. So very similar to, you know, our objective. This condition has 4, so it's not really given too much of an advantage to one or the other. Each token must be placed beyond range 1 of each deployment zone and beyond range 2 of any other condition token. All after a non-repulsor unit performs a move. If it's in range 1 and line of sight of a condition token, roll a red defense die. On a block result, the condition detonates, and on the surge result, it detonates twice before being removed. That one's interesting. So basically what this means is you're going to be placing bombs, and they have blast and impact 1. They're going to blow like everything up. But the thing is, it's possible that you send your troops in, right, and you get a blank result, and they don't trigger it. So then the next one comes in, that one triggers it, and it hits both guys. So, you know, you need to be very careful. And the thing is, like, let's say you got a snow speeder or a speeder bike, you know, those aren't going to trigger them. But if somebody else comes in, like, you can even use your own guys. Like, let's say I'm the Imperial player, and I've got 3 speeder bikes coming in. And then you have got, what in the world? Oh, got a kid banging on the window on the outside. Let's say I got my 3 speeder bikes flying in. And then there's a bomb there, but I know they're not going to trigger it. Well, maybe you send one of your troopers up and to trigger it, and then it blows up and hurts my my speeder bikes. So that's pretty interesting. And in the attack, it's going to hit everything in range 1. It's going to do a red and a black, and it has the surge to crit ability. So this attack itself so that makes those red and black way more deadly. So that's pretty nasty. So yeah, and you're going to be placing 4 of these. So this has some natural synergy, you know, with when we go back to sabotage and moisture evaporators, because I can put my mines near your moisture evaporator, or near the moisture evaporators that are closer to you. Of course, you might do the exact same thing to me, but that adds some extra caution in this whole moisture evaporation and sabotage and repair and all these maneuvers. So that's pretty interesting. What do you think of these 3 new things? And the thing is, these, you know, I don't believe these have to work together. So you could totally mix and match these and do different combinations of things. And I think Minefield is a really nice one for just about any objective token, because you can, wherever the objective is going to be, you can place those mines near there. It'd be especially interesting for odd-numbered placements or things that, you know, favor one player over the other. I'm kind of digging it. I like these. I definitely do. So what do you guys think? How do you feel about FFG actually making some type of terrain stuff now? Is this maybe just like the first step towards larger things? I love the idea of terrain that's functional, so I'm really happy with that. So I'm very excited about these. But I'd like to hear what you guys think. Don't forget, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for alerts so you don't miss when we have a giveaway. Been doing a lot of giveaways lately, so don't miss those. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.